Hey guys, and welcome to my showcase for my chicken bow plugin. So this plugin is very straightforward. When a user or a player uses the bow to fire an arrow, the arrow will spawn a chicken in its location. So you can see here the chicken spawn on the wall there. Works for entities, works for play buildings, works for pretty much everything. So wherever the arrow kind of lands, the chicken spawns. You can see it in the bottom left corner, there's also a limit to the amount of chickens a player can spawn, and this is actually ignored by people who have the permission group admin in the chickenbow.admin. So you can see here, if I continue to shoot, I can go over the desired amount. And then when these chickens die, they also have a special effect as well. So there's a 1 in 6 chance of a different effect happening. So in this instance, this chicken, exploded like a rocket launcher. It will run off. There's incendiary rockets, satchel charges, screaming, and water effects. And they're all randomized. And you also notice that chicken bodies also despawn after a set time as well, and that's a configured value. So this plugin kind of works like a quest. So your players will be able to obtain this chicken bow by killing a certain amount of chickens. Now they can check their current kill count by doing /chicken-KC. You can see my chicken KC is currently sitting at 0. You'll notice here when I kill a chicken, I get a notification telling me that my chicken kill count is increased. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this to a higher amount, and I'll show you how the spawning of the bow works. Okay, so I've set my kill count to 99, so I can do this by check this by doing chicken KC, and I've also despawned my bow. Now, if I spawn another chicken here and I kill this chicken, you'll see that I've received a bow of the chickens for getting 100 out of 100 chickens. And bear in mind that value is configurable. So if you want to make it easier for your players, you can lower the amount. If you want to make it harder, you can increase the amount. And as you can see here, I've now got myself a bow of the chickens. You'll also notice here when the plugin unloads, by default it will actually despawn these chickens. So if I just give us a quick unload and reload, you'll see that the chickens have despawned and my kill count is back to 0. Now that's, well, not my kill count, sorry, my actively spawned chickens are back to 0. That's because yeah, we don't want chickens to persist through reloads of the plugin or through server restarts. So just always make sure that your players can actually spawn chickens. Now when animals and everything else kill these chickens as well, it'll also reduce the KC as well, so your players won't be hard limited to 5 kills if animals are also helping take care of their spawn chickens. Otherwise, if you want to set the configuration value to 0 for the amount of chickens that they can spawn an infinite amount. So let's jump across and have a look at the configuration of the script and see what options there are. So this is the configuration of the script. It's pretty straightforward, and we'll go through each item as it appears. So how many chickens does a player need to kill to get the bow? So by default it's set to 100. Set this to whatever value you like. Now bear in mind that when a player achieves this kill count, their kill count will be reset, and every time they re-achieve that kill count, a new bow will be given to them. Send the player a message with an update of their progress when killing a chicken. So that was that message we saw when I killed a chicken that wasn't spawned by the bow. It showed exactly what the kill count was, and it also prompts your players to sort of let them know that there is actually a quest going with this particular creature. Remove the spawned chicken's corpse after it dies. Now this is recommended as you don't want people to be able to abuse this bow by creating a chicken, killing it, and then harvesting it for its cloth and meat and bones. But some of you might, so I put that option in there, and you can set that to false if you don't want the chicken corpse to despawn. How long after after death before we remove the corpse? Now I highly recommend putting it at least over a second. I set mine to 2 because I want the corpse to kind of linger for a little bit after the after things like an explosion. And then kind of despawn for more of an added effect, but you set this value to whatever you like. It's a float value, so you can put decimal place in there as well. Hunting bow skin ID to use. Now the skin I've used is the this little angel one here, mainly because it has feathers on it. But you can literally set whatever skin you want. Just simply put the workshop ID in there, and that'll be the skin moving forward. The actual ID and the name of the bow are irrelevant. It's actually the skin that it uses. So if you are going to use a skin, or if you've got plugins like Skinbox, make sure that there's no actively or available skins that match what you're going to set the bow of the chickens to, because that just means anyone with Skinbox can get a bow of the chickens for free. What should we do with the chickens when the script is unloaded? So there's two options here. The first one by default is number 1, which is delete them. So we just simply remove all the chickens and that's it. The second option is we just simply convert those chickens into regular chickens. So we just remove their ID from our watch list from when they die. They will no longer have a spawn effect, and they will also count towards kill counts. Maximum chicken that each player can have spawned. Now 0 is unlimited. By default we've set that to 5. This is just simply how many active chickens a player can have active in a session. Now I recommend, well, bear in mind that this will be wiped every time the script reloads, or it will be reduced when a chicken dies that a player actually spawned. But in terms of server performance or in your population and everything else, set this to whatever sort of makes sense to you guys. Bearing in mind that anyone with the chickenbow.admin permission can bypass this. Effects when a chicken dies. So chosen effects are, by default there's 6 of them. So you can see here there's bear trap scream, C4 explosion, rocket incendiary explosion, satchel charge explosion, and water impact. Now you can add more onto this as well, just simply following the format by putting a comma on the second last one, and then just having it, the last one without a comma next to it. Make sure they're all in quotation marks here as well. Make sure they're ending with .prefab and it's the full directory list. But if there's ones that you don't want, just simply delete them. So if you just want your chickens to simply scream every time they die, you can do that. And that's pretty much it for the configuration. So let's jump across and have a look at the data and what you need to do between server wipes. Alright, so here's the data file. It's very simple, very straightforward. It will simply list your player names, the chicken kill count that they're currently accumulated, and their active chicken list. So basically, this is more if you want to sort of jump into the data file and just see how many chickens that particular player's got active at a time. Otherwise, when you reload the script, that gets set back to null anyway. Chickens killed is just simply their total chicken KC. So when they do chicken / chicken KC, that's how much appears, and this is just simply a name for readability. So if you're looking at the data file, you can see who it actually belongs to, and there's obviously their Steam ID. So in between wipes, if you want to completely reset the chicken kill counts, just simply delete this data file, and you'll be able to find it in data/chickenbow/chickenkills.json. And that's pretty much it, guys. So if you do have any questions, feel free to send me a message. Otherwise, happy chicken spawning.